Hello there, my sleepy nights. Tonight, we delve into 3 hours aboard the Death Star. And if you enjoy this collection of Night Shift Radio, please give us a like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You can also support us on our Patreon, where you get access to our Spotify playlist and early access to all of these stories without the ambience at the end. But for now, let's get cozy and get on board the Death Star for 3 hours of Night Shift Radio.
You're listening to Imperial Radio Network, live from the Death Star, broadcasting across all sectors. And now, the voice of Imperial Unity, AJ Midnight Mordin.
Good evening, Empire. This is Night Shift with Midnight Mordin, broadcasting across all sectors of this magnificent station. 2,300 hours, and you're tuned to the only show that keeps the Imperial war machine running through the night. Whether you're a gunner on level 14, maintenance crew in the reactor core, or a TIE pilot on standby, we've got your next few hours covered. First, a few status reports. Current shipwide status shows all systems nominal. Sectors 5 through 12 reporting standard operation. Reactor efficiency at 97%. Excellent work, engineering team. And I'm seeing the usual gamma shift traffic in the main corridors. Nothing our brave stormtroopers can't handle. And now, a word from our sponsors. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Imperial Commissary, your one-stop shop for regulation-approved comfort items. And by Vader's finest coffee, the dark side of your morning. Available now in all level 3 break rooms. Okay, and now, as always, our comm channels are open for your calls. Just remember to state your operating number and current security clearance before transmission. Let's see who's burning the midnight oil in this technological terror. Imperial Comm Line 1, you're live across the Death Star. Operating number TK421. Level 4 security clearance. These new helmets, Mordin, they're driving me insane. The neck seals are chafing like you wouldn't believe. Uncomfortable equipment in our beloved Empire? Surely you must be mistaken, Trooper. No, Mordin, look. I've got blisters on my blisters. The whole unit does. And the sweat collection system is definitely not working right. Yesterday, I tilted my head and got last week's patrol dripping down my neck. Ah, yes. Recycling at its finest. The Empire does pride itself on efficiency. It's not just me, right? Like, this is actually gross. I believe the term is optimal moisture redistribution, Trooper. Imperial Comm Line 2, state your operating number and...
I'm not giving my number. Listen, something weird is going on in the cafeteria. The new KX units they installed last week, they're just not monitoring food prep.
Caller, I must remind you that anonymous communications are...
They're collecting data on eating habits, recording who sits with who, how long each conversation lasts. I saw one of them scanning a lieutenant's tray and transmitting something about suspicious protein consumption patterns.
While I'm sure our standard security droids are simply ensuring proper nutritional standards...
They made 3 arrests yesterday because some officers were taking too long on their lunch breaks. Called it temporal nutrition optimization violations. Mordin, since when is eating a crime? Oh no. Oh no. They're doing their rounds right now. I have to go.
Well, I'm sure our mysterious caller is fine, and definitely not being optimized as we speak. Oh, Imperial Comm Line 3.
Operating number MT616. Mordin, the new efficiency protocols are killing us down here. They've installed these productivity monitoring droids in the maintenance tunnels.
Ah, yes, the Empire's latest initiative for a more efficient workforce.
They time everything. And I mean everything. Had a droid follow me for my whole shift yesterday. Got marked down for spending excessive time tightening a coolant valve. Apparently, the book says it should take 23 seconds. I took 47.
Well, heaven forbid you ensure a valve is actually sealed properly.
Exactly. Mordin, and get this. They've got a new brake system. You have to log your destination every single time you leave your post. I mean, even for the refresher. Had 3 guys get written up for unauthorized hydration management.
Can have people drinking water whenever they feel like it. Think of the lost productivity.
I spent longer logging the maintenance request than fixing the actual problem. How is that efficient?
Imperial Comm Line 4, your operating number, please.
Yeah, no number from me. But speaking of the cafeteria situation, it gets worse. The nutrient paste, it isn't just paste. I swear they're putting something in it. Ever notice how everyone's more compliant after lunch?
That sounds like unauthorized speculation about Imperial food services, caller.
All I'm saying is, ever since they changed the recipe, my whole department has been volunteering for double shifts. And smiling. Like, smiling in waste management?
Sounds like the Empire's finest showing their dedication to...
I haven't eaten the paste in 2 weeks. That's right. I've been sneaking ration bars from the emergency pods. And let me tell you, I'm the only one who noticed when they painted the entire level 5 corridor pink yesterday. Pink. I mean, come on. And everyone else just walked around like it was normal.
And that sounds like a perfect time for a word from our sponsors. Remember, troops, Vader's finest coffee. Now with 30% less sedation. Sediment. And now, time for your Imperial workplace updates. Let's start with traffic conditions across our lovely battle station. Heavy worker traffic reported in Corridor 5 Alpha. Seems a mouse droid convoy is causing delays. Again, please note that kicking them only makes them more aggressive. Level 27 is experiencing what Command calls routine congestion due to another malfunctioning blast door. Maintenance reports it's opening and closing at random. So far it's trapped 3 squadrons and an admiral. Response teams estimate soon. Remember, troops, if caught in a blast door situation, your death is in service to the Empire. And that sound means a reminder that the express turbo lift to the detention level is for prisoner transport only. Yes, I know it's faster than the regular lifts. No, your late shift report doesn't count as a prisoner. And now, your artificial environment report. Sectors 1 through 7 are experiencing what engineering calls optimal temperature variation. Translation, the heating's broken again. All personnel are reminded that personal heating units are strictly prohibited. Your shivering demonstrates commitment to the cause. Sector 8 through 12 are reporting higher than normal humidity due to a leak in the water recycling system. Command assures us that this is atmospheric enhancement, not a maintenance issue. Remember, a wet trooper is an alert trooper. Level 13 is currently experiencing what we're required to call scheduled atmospheric adjustments. If you see any mysterious floating objects or hear unexplained whispers, please file Form 27B-6 with Paranormal Activity Control. Do not attempt to interact with any apparitions claiming to be former employees. And a special notice for maintenance crews. The gravity generators in Sector 20 are still acting up. All personnel are advised to tie down loose equipment and themselves. We've already lost 3 cleaning droids to the ceiling. They're still operational up there, though, so watch your head. That concludes your Imperial workplace updates. Remember, a productive worker is an alive worker. Usually. And now, let's head back to the calls. Imperial Comm Line 1, you're live across the Death Star.
I'm not giving my operating number. Listen, I work in Sector 7G. Waste management. Something came through the system last night. Something big.
Caller, I must remind you that all waste disposal incidents should be reported through proper channels.
The proper channels are ignoring it. 3 of our compactors completely failed. Just stopped working. But here's the weird thing. They were crushed from the inside out.
Well, perhaps a maintenance issue?
Maintenance found claw marks, Mordin. Claw marks on the inside. And we've been hearing noises. Yeah. Noises in the walls. Like that. Tell me you heard that.
Now look, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation involving standard pipe pressure and... technical difficulties. How unfortunate. Imperial Comm Line 2.
Operating number IO725. Level 6 clearance. Mordin. Your last caller may be onto something. I'm in requisitions, and we've had some unusual requests lately.
Unusual? How, officer?
Massive orders of specialized containment units. The kind with built-in force fields. And get this, Mordin. They're being delivered to a level that officially doesn't exist.
I'm sure it's all standard Imperial...
At the biochem lab, they've requisitioned enough sedative. And the biochem lab, they've requisitioned enough sedative to knock out a Star Destroyer's worth of Wookiees. Ordered by someone with clearance I've never seen before. But, I'm sure it's all according to protocol. I have to go. Glory to the Empire.
Indeed. Glory to the Empire. Imperial Comm Line 3.
Look, I work in droid maintenance, level 5. Not giving my number for obvious reasons. But something weird is happening. Something weird, Mordin, with the repair units in Section 31B.
Weird? How?
Well, we keep sending maintenance droids to investigate power fluctuations. Standard stuff, you know. Except they don't come back. When we find them, they're completely wiped. Not just memory cores. Everything. It's like something scared them so bad their circuits couldn't handle it.
Well, I mean, droids don't get scared.
Then explain why every single one had their motivator burnt out trying to get away from whatever they saw. The last one we recovered, its visual processors were melted from the inside. And the logs show a power spike of 300%. 300% above normal. Every night, same time, like clockwork. Oh no, they're doing a surprise inspection. I shouldn't be on the phone.
Imperial Com Line 4?
They're testing something down there. Level 13. The level they say doesn't exist. Yeah? You hear about this, Mordin? I cleaned the officers' quarters. Found a datapad. There are specimens. They're calling it Project Dark Star.
Caller, discussion of classified projects is strictly...
The specimens got loose last week. That's why they sealed off the entire southeast quadrant. Reactor leak? Please. Since when does a reactor leak make those kinds of sounds?
Let's take another caller. Line 5?
TK329. Reporting, sir. Level 4 clearance. Just wanted to report some irregular activity during my patrol.
Okay, proceed, Trooper.
Was doing my rounds near the restricted research sectors. Saw a group of scientists in hazmat suits. They were running. Never seen an Imperial scientist run before.
Well, I mean, perhaps they were late for a meeting.
Then why were they screaming about containment protocols? And why did they seal off the entire wing right after it? I'm telling you, Mordin, I've been hearing weird stuff through the walls ever since. Like chittering. And sometimes it sounds like laughing.
And that sounds like a perfect time for a reminder about proper security protocols and the dangers of spreading unauthorized rumors. Coming up, tips for maintaining your regulation boots and why that mysterious scratching in your wall is definitely just normal station operations. Stay with us. Welcome back to Night Shift. Before we continue, I'm legally required to remind all listeners that Level 13 absolutely does not exist, and any discussion of non-existent levels is strictly prohibited. Now, Comm Line 1, you are live on the Death Star.
Operating number MT-879. Alright, look, Mordin. I know we're not supposed to talk about certain levels, but let me tell you something. Something happened down there last week that people they need to know about.
You mean on the level that doesn't exist?
Yeah, exactly. See, I was doing repairs, on the ventilation shaft. Normal stuff, right? Then I hear this, I don't know, like, it sounded like, kind of like a singing.
Singing? You heard singing?
Yeah, well, something like that. I mean, like 100 voices, but all like wrong somehow. You know, like not in basic, not in any language I've ever heard. Kind of made my teeth hurt listening to it. I know that sounds weird, but it made my teeth hurt. And then the readings on my datapad, it just melted.
Just melted?
Just melted, Mordin. That's right. I hear the sound and it melts, and the screen went all liquid. Liquid, then solid again. But now it only displays things backwards. And sometimes it shows coordinates for places that don't exist. Like, don't exist in our galaxy. But, that's not even the weirdest part. Alright, get this. Found this, like, I don't know how to, I guess you would call it like something like a substance on the walls. Like a sorta, like black, gray, mostly black. Kinda oily. But it moved when you weren't looking directly at it. It would move. And, so I sent a sample to the lab for analysis. And, the next day, whole crew was gone. Transferred, they said. Yeah, all of them at once.
Well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation.
Mordin, the substance, a black thing, a black oily thing, the substance is still there. Yeah, it's growing. And sometimes I swear I see faces in it.
Ah, another technical difficulty. How unfortunate. Imperial Com Line 2?
Operating number SO241. Level 6 clearance. Mordin, I need to report some irregularities in the security footage.
Proceed, officer.
Well, I've been monitoring the cameras near, well, I think you know where. Every night, same time, we get these glitches. But they're not normal glitches.
Okay, how so?
Well, the footage doesn't just cut out. It changes. Shows corridors that don't match our schematics. Doors that lead to spaces that can't exist. And the timestamps. They go backwards, sideways. Sometimes show dates from thousands of years in the future. And the people in the footage. Sometimes they walk backwards, or sideways up walls, or they're there, but they cast no shadow. And their faces...
Well, perhaps we should move on to...
Wait, there's more, Mordin, please. Last night, I saw something in the footage. It was like a whole squad of troopers went down there. Standard patrol. But when they came back, the footage shows the right number of troopers, right uniforms. Everything looks normal, except... Except they were all walking in perfect sync. Like some sort of dance. And when they passed the camera, none of their helmets had eye slots. Just smooth, white plastic filed a report, and oh no, they're here, but their uniforms. Those aren't regulation anymore. Haven't been for 30 years.
Well, how about those pod racing scores? Imperial Com Line 3.
Don't use my number. They'll track it. Listen, I know what Project Darkstar is. Yeah, like, really is. I, found a terminal that was still locked in. They're not just doing experiments down there. They're trying to reach something.
Trying to reach something.
The files talked about parallel containment and dimensional resonance or something like that. They're punching holes, Mordin. They're punching holes in the specimens aren't specimens. They're what came through, or what they became after they came through. You know, the ones they couldn't contain. And now they're learning, changing. Last week, just last week, one of them figured out how to wear a lieutenant's face. Wore it to the mess hall. Sat there for hours, not eating, just smiling. And the worst part, High Command, I think they want this. All of it. The file said it's working exactly as planned. This isn't an accident. It's, oh, stars. The walls are breathing, Mordin.
And on that note, let's hear a word from our sponsors. Remember, troops, Vader's finest coffee, now with extra reality stabilizers. I mean, caffeine. Definitely caffeine. And we're back. What a night. You know what? I've had enough of these ridiculous rumors for one night. Level 13. Temporal anomalies. Face-stealing specimens. Do you have any idea how much paperwork I'm going to have to file just for airing these calls? Okay, look, I'm gonna be straight. I've been doing this show for about 3 years now. Started as a proper Imperial broadcast, and that's exactly what it still is. You want to know what's really happening on this station? I'll tell you what's happening. Maintenance crews behind on their work blame mysterious creatures. Security footage glitching. Well, must be parallel dimensions. Weird sounds in the waste disposal. Definitely must be interdimensional beings. Couldn't possibly be those faulty compactors I've been reporting for months. And these anonymous messages. Let me read you my favorite one from tonight. The walls are breathing, Mordin. The walls. Have you considered that maybe, just maybe, you're pulling a double shift in an understaffed battle station, running on bad CAF and worse sleep schedules? Oh, and now I'm getting a message that tomorrow's mandatory psychiatric evaluations have been moved up to right now. Wonderful. I'm sure that's also because of mysterious experiments, and not at all related to the mass hysteria I've just had to sit through. So, here's your Imperial approved end of shift update. This station, the station is fine. The Empire is fine. You're all fine. If you see something strange, file a report. Just file a report. If you happen to hear something weird or hear something strange, some singing perhaps, file a report. If you think your colleague is actually a shape-shifting creature from another dimension, please, just file a report and let someone else deal with it. This is Midnight Mordin, reminding you that the only thing we have to fear is falling behind on our productivity quotas. Coming up next, 6 hours of approved Imperial white noise, guaranteed to contain no hidden messages or interdimensional frequencies. Glory to the Empire, and for Star's sake, get some sleep.
This concludes our broadcast. Glory to the Empire. You're listening to Imperial Radio Network, Death Star Primary Channel, broadcasting across all sectors. The voice of Imperial Unity, DJ Midnight Mordin.
Good evening, Empire. This is Night Shift Radio with Midnight Mordin, broadcasting across all sectors of this magnificent station. 2,300 hours, and you're tuned to the only show that keeps the Imperial war machine running through the night. So whether you're a gunner on level 14, maintenance crew in the reactor core, or a TIE pilot on standby, we've got your next few hours covered. It's been quite the week since that specialized medical frigate arrived last Tuesday, bringing new equipment and those transfer medical droids. I've noticed the corridors feeling a bit more efficient, wouldn't you say? Current shipwide status shows all systems nominal, sectors 5 through 12 reporting standard operation. Reactor efficiency at 98%. Excellent work, engineering team. And I'm seeing the usual gamma shift traffic in the main corridors, though personnel movement patterns have been remarkably consistent this week, almost unnaturally so. Now, before we dive into tonight's calls, let me remind all personnel that Lord Vader's inspection has been postponed until next week. The official reason given was pressing matters on Imperial Center, but between you and me, I think someone might have told him about the backup in the officer's mess plumbing. Nothing ruins an impressive inspection like the smell of a backed-up waste pipe. Am I right? Not that I'd ever suggest Lord Vader has anything as human as a sense of smell. That's between him and his respirator. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Imperial Commissary, your one-stop shop for regulation-approved comfort items, and by Vader's finest coffee, the dark side of your morning. Available now in all level 3 break rooms. I personally recommend their new Executor blend. It'll keep you alert through even the most tedious orbital patrol. As always, our comm channels are open for your calls. Just remember to state your operating number and current security clearance before transmission. Let's see who's up on the Death Star. Imperial Comm Line 1. You're live across the Death Star.
Operating number TK-857, level 3 clearance. Mordin, oh man, you're not gonna believe this, but I think I'm developing force abilities.
Is that so, Trooper? And what incredible powers have you manifested? Moving Star Destroyers, crushing rebel bases with your mind?
Well, not exactly, but last night I was thinking really hard about my blaster cleaning kit, and when I returned to my quarters, it had moved 6 inches to the left. That's telekinesis, right? I mean, should I, inform Lord Vader, or wait until I can move bigger objects?
Perhaps wait until you can at least shift a mouse droid, though I'd recommend against demonstrating this talent anywhere near Lord Vader. He tends to be rather particular about Force users, something Something about not appreciating the competition.
It's not just moving objects. No, yesterday, I knew Lieutenant Drex was going to enter the barracks before he did. I just had this feeling, you know?
Was this feeling perhaps related to the fact that Lieutenant Drex inspects the barracks at the same time every single day?
Oh, well, there was also this thing with the cafeteria menu. I predicted we'd have nutrient paste.
That's truly remarkable, considering we've had nutrient paste every day for the past 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right. I mean, I'll keep practicing in secret. Maybe I can levitate my helmet next. Or read the thoughts of that cute communications officer on level 7.
I'd definitely avoid that last one. Mind reading is a fast track to disciplinary action or worse. Do keep us updated on your journey to becoming the Empire's first Force-sensitive stormtrooper, though perhaps focus your newfound powers on your actual job. Imperial Comm Line 2?
Operator number MT329. Level 2 clearance. Mordin, something weird is happening with the requisition system. It's rejecting my thumbprint ID, but it's accepting everything else. The terminal keeps saying biometric mismatch. Even though nothing's changed, I've been using the same thumb for 5 years.
Well, have you tried your other thumb? Perhaps the system is just tired of seeing the same one.
Yeah, very funny, Mordin. But seriously, it's not just me, you know? There's 3 other guys in my unit had the same problem this week. All after our scheduled medical checks in Base 7. Could be like a system-wide glitch.
I'll make a note for tech support. Perhaps there's some interference from the new medical equipment. But first, let's see who else is calling in tonight. Imperial Comm Line 3.
Operator number WD429, Level 2 clearance. Well, Mordin, we got a situation in the compactor units. Last night we had another incident where a piston failed at full compression. That's like the 3rd one this week. Manufacturing says now, they say it's impossible. These units are rated for crushing starfighter hulls.
And what exactly was in the compactor at the time?
Yeah, now you see, that's the strangest part. Just standard waste. But when we examined the damaged piston, we found what looked like, it kind of looked like claw marks. Yeah, claw marks from the inside.
Claw marks? Are you suggesting someone was alive in there?
Honestly, Morton, I don't know what to think anymore. But the marks match no known species in the Imperial database. And, here's the truly disturbing part. We found similar marks in all 3 damaged units. Identical patterns. Whatever it was, there's more than one.
Perhaps some exotic pet has escaped from an officer's quarters. I recall we had that incident last month with Captain Nivik's Corellian sand panther.
Sand panthers don't leave marks like this, Mordin. These are, I don't know how to describe it, almost geometric, like they were made with tools rather than natural claws. And, oh yeah, there's something else. I almost forgot. After each incident, several nearby crew members reported unusual dreams. Same dream, actually, the same dream. Something about perfect replacements.
Speaking of station functionality, let's check in with our traffic and travel updates. Let's see here. We're seeing turbo delays in sectors 5 through 8 due to maintenance operations. Turbolift 31C has been taken offline completely after 3 passengers reported their reflections moving independently of themselves. Engineering assures us this is a simple light refraction issue and definitely not, I repeat, not a dimensional anomaly. Shuttle service to the lower hangar bays is operating at reduced capacity for the next 12 hours due to what Command is calling routine recalibration of the navigation systems. Please allow extra time for cross-station transit during shift changes. And a friendly reminder that unauthorized shortcuts through maintenance tunnels will result in disciplinary action. The last trooper caught crawling through the ventilation shafts is now on permanent sanitation duty in the Rancor holding area. Though I'm told he's performing remarkably well since his required medical evaluation. Perfect attendance, exceptional waste management metrics. Who knew a medical checkup could improve one's enthusiasm for cleaning exotic predator habitats? Who've we got next on the calls?
Operator number TK421, Level 4 security clearance. Mordin, something strange is happening with my squad leader. He's suddenly stopped using our squadron nicknames. We've had him for years, and now he insists on operating numbers only. He won't even respond to Bullseye anymore. And that's been his call sign since the academy.
Perhaps he's finally read the Imperial Communications Manual. Section 12, paragraph 7 clearly states all personnel should be addressed by proper designation.
No, it's more than that. He's walking differently. He's talking differently. Doesn't remember any of our missions on Mimban. And get this, he used to be terrified of needles. But yesterday I saw him volunteering for additional vaccines. Said they were beneficial to optimal functioning. Who talks like that, Mordin?
Perhaps he's simply becoming a model Imperial officer. Frankly, we could all use a little more adherence to protocols. Why, just yesterday I saw an officer with his cap tilted 2 degrees off regulation angle. Absolute madness. Okay, let's take another call.
Operating number SC221. Level 5 clearance. I wanted to share some observations regarding the new medical technology. Our department has been analyzing the specifications, and there are discrepancies.
What kind of discrepancies, officer?
The power consumption doesn't match the stated function. These medical droids are drawing enough energy to run a small star destroyer. Far beyond what's required for standard medical procedures, and the secondary processing units appear designed for complex neural mapping and molecular reconstruction. That's well beyond basic medical care.
I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable...
There's more. We've detected unusual energy signatures emanating from Medical Bay 7, specifically in frequencies associated with quantum entanglement. Theory suggests such signatures could be related to matter duplication or even consciousness transfer.
That sounds rather speculative, officer.
It was speculative. Until 3 of my colleagues who raised these concerns were summoned to Medical Bay 7 for routine evaluations. They returned with no memory of their research, and insisting the energy readings were simple equipment malfunctions. But here's the concerning part, Mordin. Their brainwave patterns are subtly altered. The same personalities, same memories, but different neurological signatures.
That's a fascinating theory. Speaking of fascinating, let's hear from our sponsors.
Suffering from armor sweats? Body temperature rising faster than a Star Destroyer going to light speed?
Introducing Trooper Temp, climate control undergarments.
Our patented Wampa Fur technology keeps you cool in combat, warm in space, and comfortable during those endless Death Star patrols.
Side effects may include mild irritation, occasional static discharge, and the uncontrollable urge to march in perfect synchronization with other Trooper Temp users.
Trooper Temp, because comfort is your duty to the Empire.
And we're back. Let's go straight to the lines. Imperial Comm Line 5, you're live across the Death Star.
Operating number IT-905, level 3 clearance. Hey, Mordin, so I work in Central Security, and I've noticed something kind of concerning. Several officers who underwent routine medical checkups this week have completely forgotten established security protocols. One lieutenant even tried using his old clearance codes. I mean, these are codes that, we changed months ago.
Oh, sleep deprivation can do strange things to memory.
Well, it's not just fatigue. These are experienced officers who suddenly can't remember basic procedures. They followed these procedures for years. All of them recently, I heard, visited Medical Base 7.
Now I'm sure there's a reasonable...
No, there's more. Their behavior patterns have changed. Okay? We monitor officer movements as part of security protocol. And these individuals have completely different routines now. Lieutenant Crest used to stop for CAF at, 0700 hours every morning. Hasn't missed a day in 3 years. after his medical visit. He just stopped completely. Commander Voss always took the wrong route to the bridge to avoid Officer Nelson. Due to some old feud or something, I don't know. Now, they walk together every day. These are ingrained behavioral patterns, Mordin, that have suddenly changed.
Perhaps they've decided simply to make positive life changes.
Positive life changes all at once? And there's a pattern to when these changes occur, okay? Exactly 24 hours after their scheduled medical evaluations. I've mapped it, I've tracked it, it's predictable, and there's more, okay? Their productivity has increased by exactly 27% across the board, not approximately. Exactly 27%. Statistically, that's impossible without coordination.
Well, increased productivity is hardly cause for alarm in the Empire. Perhaps these medical droids are simply very effective motivators.
That's what Command is saying too. But I've accessed their medical files.
Which I'm certain you had proper authorization for.
Let's just say it was a security concern. Their biometric data shows subtle changes. Microscopic differences in retinal patterns. Minor shifts in vocal resonance. Slight alterations to DNA sequencing. Not enough to trigger identity alerts, but definitely different from their baseline readings.
Fascinating. Well, I think that's enough speculation for one call. Thank you for your insights. Imperial Comm Line 6, you're live on the Death Star.
Operating number RT-662. Level 2 clearance. Mordin, I've made a startling discovery. I don't think the Death Star is actually round.
I beg your pardon?
Hear me out. Okay? I've been walking in what should be a circle for weeks now, but I keep ending up in different places. Right? I've mapped it out. The geometry doesn't work. I think the Death Star might actually be a cube, and they're just gaslighting us with all these curved corridors and viewports.
Fascinating theory. Have you considered that perhaps you're simply getting lost? The station does house over 1 million personnel.
That's exactly what they want you to think. The maps are all wrong. I've been making my own maps, and... Oh, security is here. They've been following me since I started mapping. I have to go. Sorry, Mordin.
Another mystery of the Death Star. Perhaps our technicians should spend less time walking in circles and more time at his assigned post. Imperial Comm Line 7, you're live on the Death Star.
Operating number MO734. Level 5 clearance. I'm calling to address some of these misconceptions about the new medical protocols. The enhanced examination procedures are simply part of the Empire's commitment to optimal personnel performance.
Thank you for the clarification, Doctor. Any response to concerns about memory issues following these examinations?
Minor memory fluctuations are a normal side effect of our advanced neural scanning technology. These temporary systems resolve within 24 hours as the brain adapts to its improved efficiency state. The benefits far outweigh any momentary discomfort.
And what exactly are these benefits?
Enhanced cognitive processing, improved loyalty metrics, reduction in unnecessary emotional responses, elimination of distracting personal concerns that impede Imperial efficiency. The procedures are completely safe and approved at the highest levels.
Well, that sounds thorough. Are these procedures voluntary?
These are mandatory for optimal Imperial functioning. Resistance indicates potential disloyalty, which would, of course, necessitate more comprehensive intervention. I'm sure a model Imperial broadcaster such as yourself understands the importance of complete cooperation with medical protocols.
Of course, complete cooperation. Speaking of Imperial-approved entertainment, it's time for some music to motivate our night shift workers. Here's the latest from Rhythms of the Empire. This is Precision Information by the Imperial Symphony Orchestra. Remember, these tracks are available for download to your authorized personnel devices. Command recommends them for enhanced productivity and synchronized thinking. Well, that was stirring, wasn't it? Nothing like a good march to keep you alert during these long night shifts. Okay, let's go back to the calls. Imperial Comm Line 7, you're live across the Death Star.
Operating number TP-138. Level 3 clearance. Mordin, something's up with my wingman. We've flown together for 3 years. And since his minor injury treatment last week, he's different.
Different? How, pilot?
He's flying with perfect precision. And I mean perfect. He's like some simulation. His reaction time is incredible. But he doesn't laugh. At any of our usual jokes. Doesn't remember the time we buzzed that Star Destroyer. And yesterday he reported me for taking an unnecessary evasive maneuver during routine patrol. It was just a barrel roll.
Well, perhaps the medical droids finally removed that rebellious streak the Academy couldn't drain out of him.
It's like flying with a different person wearing my friend's face. He speaks differently, all formal and precise. Kinda creeps me out a bit.
And that's enough creeps for me. Imperial Comm Line 7.
Operating number SW494, Level 1, clearance. Mordin, you've got to help me make sense of this. It's the trash compactor in Sector 6. It's started to develop preferences.
Preferences? What? Do you mean preferences for trash?
Exactly. It keeps spitting back the food waste, but crushes the metal instantly. Yesterday, I fed it mixed garbage, and it sorted everything. Metal got crushed, organics got ejected. I think it's becoming a picky eater.
Perhaps you've discovered the Empire's first sentient waste management system. Have you tried offering it premium-grade scrap?
Martin, I'm not joking around here. Something's wrong with these systems. First the droids act strange, now it's the compactors. Honestly, it's like the whole station is changing.
Well, I think that means it's time for an environment report. Current station conditions show sectors 1 to 7 maintaining optimal temperature with slight humidity adjustments. Atmospheric pressure has been increased in docking bays for incoming supply ships. And a reminder that those reported unusual odors near Sector 12 are related to authorized coolant changes, not as rumors suggest that there's escaped specimens from some lab. Personnel experiencing respiratory discomfort may report to medical stations 3, 5, or 9 for treatment. Medical Bay 7 is currently focused on scheduled personnel evaluations and not handling walk-ins. Okay, now let's get back to the calls. Imperial Comm Line 8, you're live on the Death Star.
Operating number DG319. Level 4 clearance. Something strange is happening with the prisoners, Mordin. Ever since those new medical droids visited the detention level, every single captive has been unnaturally calm. These are hardened rebels, smugglers who were spitting and fighting last week. Now they're sitting quietly, following every instruction perfectly.
Sounds like an improvement in prisoner management techniques.
It's not right, Mordin. They all have the same blank expression, the same perfect posture. One prisoner was a notorious Rhodian with a cybernetic leg who constantly complained about pain. Now he moves like that leg is brand new. Doesn't mention discomfort at all.
Well, perhaps the medical droids adjusted his cybernetics.
I don't think so. His eyes are different. Everyone's eyes are different now. Like they're empty.
Okay, that's enough of that. So, Imperial Comm Line 9.
Operator number E9842. Level 4. Level 4 clearance, Mordin. I need to report something about the new medical droids. second my team is assigned to upgrade their power couplings last night, we found something unusual in the central processing core.
What kind of unusual, Engineer?
Their primary programming isn't Imperial standard code. It's something I've never seen before. Organic, synthetic, hybrid algorithms. And there's a secondary system that activates only during patient examination procedures. When we tried to access it, the security protocols locked us out, with an override code stamped with the Emperor's personal cipher.
The Emperor's personal cipher. That's highly classified.
Exactly. What's the Emperor doing programming medical droids? And there's more. The hardware itself, it isn't standard either. These droids have components I've never encountered. Molecular manipulation arrays. Consciousness mapping nodes. Neural pattern replicators.
Those sound like very technical terms.
Well, because they're not really supposed to exist. This technology is decades beyond current Imperial science. It's like these droids aren't just examining patients. They're copying them somehow.
Copying them? That's a rather extreme conclusion.
Is it? 2 of my team were summoned to Medical Base 7 this morning for routine checks. I swear, Mordin, they came back acting strange. Perfect posture. Speaking in complete sentences, no complaints about the double shift we were working. One of them was Jorik. You know how he always scratches his left ear when he's thinking? Now he doesn't. It's like watching someone doing a really good impression of him, but getting tiny details wrong. Oh no. I have to go, Mordin. But listen to me. I'm telling the truth.
Okay, and now it's time for another word from our sponsors.
Is helmet hair ruining your off-duty appearance? Struggling to maintain that perfect Imperial cut during long shifts? Try Imperial Hair Care's Regulation Perfection, the only styling product engineered specifically for Imperial military personnel.
Our helmet-safe formula keeps your look regulation perfect even after 12 hours of active duty.
Not responsible if your hair gets stuck inside your helmet and it can't be removed. All suspicious discolorations should be reported immediately to Imperial Security.
Imperial Hair Care. When appearance matters, authenticity matters more.
And we are back. Okay, let's get straight to the calls. Imperial Comm Line 9.
Operating number SO-727, Level 5, clearance, Mordin. I've been monitoring personnel movements as part of security protocols. We've noticed something odd about Medical Base 7. People enter, but there's no corresponding exit record in the system. It's like they vanish inside.
Perhaps it's simply a sensor malfunction. Those medical bay doors see heavy traffic.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Until I checked the secondary systems. Same pattern. People go in, fewer come out. And those who do exit sometimes have different biometric readings than when they entered. Subtle changes. Height variance, centimeter out, slightly different gait analysis.
That's intriguing. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation. Imperial Comm Line 10.
Operator number AD-442, level 3 clearance. Mordin, who designs these walkers? I mean, my neck is permanently bent from looking down at everything. Can we get some kind of periscope system? Maybe a rear view mirror and the leg controls are murder on my lower back.
The price of having the high ground, driver.
Now look, I've submitted 17 design improvement suggestions. All rejected. One officer told me, and I'm quoting here, "Ergonomics is irrelevant to Imperial dominance." Try saying that after an 8-hour patrol when you can only see what's directly under your massive metal feet.
I'll make sure your suggestions reach the appropriate department. Imperial Comm Line 11.
Operating number CS-189. Level 4 clearance. Something strange is happening with personnel who visited Medical Bay 7. They're all speaking differently, using oddly formal patterns, perfect Imperial diction. People who used to have accents now sound identical. It's like they're reading from the same script.
Perhaps they're finally taking communication protocols seriously.
No, it's more than that. They use the exact same phrases, the same cadence. Yesterday, 3 different officers from 3 different sectors all responded to a routine status check with identical wording. Not just similar, but word for word identical. That's statistically impossible. Oh no, I have to go. There's someone coming.
Fascinating observation. Let's take another caller. Imperial Comm Line 12.
Operating number DO-251, level 3 clearance. Mordin, I think prisoners are tampering with my mind. You know, ever since we captured that bolt-on spy, I can't stop thinking about fur conditioner and tail grooming. I don't even have a tail. Though I kinda wish I had a tail.
Are you certain you haven't been spending too much time interrogating this particular prisoner?
I'm serious. I keep having these weird impulses to comb my non-existent fur. Yesterday I caught myself trying to order special brushes from supply. Something strange is happening on this station, man.
Perhaps it's time for a recreational break. Okay, that's enough fur chat. Imperial Comm Line 13.
Operating number QM-806. Level 5 clearance. Mordin, I oversee supply requisitions from the medical department. Medical Bay 7 has been ordering some unusual items, shall we say. Increased power allocation. Specialized chemicals I've never requested before. And neural scanners. Typically used only in Imperial intelligent facilities.
I'm sure they have authorization for such equipment.
Exactly. That's just it, Mordin. They do. Highest level clearance I've seen on medical requisitions. But hear this. Nothing in their official operation logs, explains why they would need equipment designed for creating detailed neural maps or organic synthesis chambers.
Well, I'm afraid we'll have to leave that mystery for another time. Let's check in with some station news while we wait for our next caller. The biometric scanning systems at security checkpoints will be upgraded tomorrow between 6 and 1400 hours. During this time, facial recognition and retinal scans may be temporarily unavailable. Security will rely on manual ID verification, so please have your code cylinders ready. This upgrade is part of our ongoing efforts to detect any irregularities in personnel identification. Also, the recreation facilities in Sector 9 have been temporarily repurposed for additional medical examination space. All off-duty activities will now be conducted in designated common areas under supervision of security personnel. This is for your safety and comfort. And now a special announcement from High Command.
Effective immediately, all personnel are required to report any colleagues exhibiting unusual behavior or personality changes to the nearest security checkpoint. Examples include deviation from established routines, failure to recognize familiar protocols, excessive individuality, or perfect efficiency. Remember, vigilance is the hallmark of a loyal Imperial.
Now, let's hear from our sponsor before we take our next call.
Feeling the midnight shift drowsies? Need a pick-me-up that carries the authority of the dark side itself?
Vader's finest coffee, Midnight Shift Blend.
Our darkest roast uses beans from the volcanic fields of Mustafar, guaranteeing to keep you as vigilant as the Dark Lord himself.
Side effects may include increased reporting of suspicious colleagues, enhanced devotion to Imperial protocols, decreased personal attachments, and occasional force-choking gestures.
Vader's finest coffee. Feel the power of the dark roast.
I'm feeling the power of that dark roast right now. Okay. Imperial Comm Line 14.
Operating number TK772, level 2 clearance. Mordin, my helmet is giving me fashion advice. Is that a standard feature in the new models?
Fashion advice? I don't believe that's part of standard issue equipment, Trooper.
Well, it told me white armor with black boots is so last season, and I should try a splash of color. Then it suggested some kind of shoulder accessory. Is this supposed to critique my accessories?
Perhaps your helmet took some damage during your last deployment, or your head. I'd recommend a thorough diagnostic check.
All right, I'll try that. Though, it did have some good points about how a colored pauldron would really make my armor pop in combat situations.
Imperial Comm Line 15. You're live across the Death Star.
I can't give my operating number. They might be monitoring. I work in Medical Bay 7 with the new transfer droids. Mordin, people need to know what's happening there.
What exactly is concerning you?
The transfer droids. They're not just performing medical procedures. They're creating perfect, organic duplicates of personnel using classified technology. These duplicates retain the original's memories, but of absolute loyalty programming embedded at a neural level.
That's a rather extraordinary claim.
I found a restricted area yesterday. A holding facility with original personnel kept in stasis. The duplicates replace them, and no one notices the difference. It started off with low-level staff, but now includes officers up to level 6 clearance. They're planning to... Someone's coming. I have to go. I'm sorry.
Well, that was certainly an interesting perspective. Perhaps our caller has been working too many consecutive shifts. Now, let's move on to some recreation advisories for off-duty personnel. The Hollow Projection Room in Sector 6 is now featuring the Victories of the Empire documentary series. Tonight's episode, I believe, is Subjugation of Kashyyyk. All personnel are reminded that the gymnasium equipment has been recalibrated for optimal performance development. And a special announcement, all personnel are encouraged to participate in voluntary recreational activities, rather than congregating in private quarters for unauthorized discussions. Now, I have a special musical treat for our listeners. Here's the track from a band that's becoming quite popular among our maintenance crews. They call themselves the Mechanical Replacements, and this is their new single, Identical but Better.
Like the Empire, you march like a clone, but something's improved since that droid scan tone. The new Usus Vader, right down in the bone. Identical but better, completely redesigned. Same face, same name. Same face, same name. With an Imperial mind. Identical but better, completely redesigned. Same face, same name. Same face, same name. With an Imperial mind.
oddly specific lyrics, wasn't it? But quite catchy. Certainly gets stuck in your head. Okay, Imperial line 16.
Operating number GN109, level 1 clearance. Mordin? Oh, Mordin, I've created a crisis. I used the new floor polish in corridor 33, and it's too effective. People are sliding everywhere. I've created the galaxy's largest slip hazard.
Have you tried putting up warning signs?
3 officers have skated into the trash chute. Oh, I need help, but I'm afraid to walk across and get cleaning solvent. And as we speak, a squadron of stormtroopers are performing what looks like a synchronized sliding. They keep crashing into the walls.
Well, perhaps you inadvertently created the Death Star's first ice rink. I'll alert maintenance to your predicament. In the meantime, perhaps enjoy the rest of the show.
This isn't funny, Mordin. The lieutenant just did a perfect split and is now stuck.
While our enthusiastic janitor deals with his slippery situation, let's hear from another sponsor.
Are mismatched uniforms compromising unit cohesion? Tired of squinting to determine rank in emergency situations?
Introducing identical Imperial uniforms with perfect match technology.
Our uniforms guarantee perfect consistency down to the last thread, engineered for optimal comfort, durability, and complete suppression of individuality.
Wearing non-regulation uniforms may indicate duplicate infiltration or rebellious tendencies. Report all uniform discrepancies immediately.
Identical Imperial uniforms, because standing out gets you noticed by rebel snipers and Imperial security forces.
You have to look good out there. Well, we're back. I think we have time for a couple more calls. Imperial comm line 21.
This is Officer LD 453. Security Oversight Division. Level 7. Clearance.
Welcome to Night Shift, Officer. What can I do for Imperial security this evening?
I'm calling to address these absurd rumors about Medical Base 7. Such conspiracy theories border on sedition.
To clarify for our listeners, you're saying there's nothing unusual happening with these new medical procedures?
Correct. These are standard Imperial health evaluations. Nothing more.
And the reports of personality changes?
Simply the result of proper Imperial medical care. If personnel are performing better and showing enhanced loyalty, that should be celebrated.
What about these unusual claims regarding personnel?
Utterly ridiculous. Now, speaking of medical procedures, I notice you've missed your scheduled evaluations, Mordin.
Yes, well, my broadcast schedule.
No matter. The equipment maintenance performed in your studio last week was quite comprehensive. We collected everything we needed.
Everything you needed for what? Exactly.
Standard medical profiling, of course. What else? Though I must say, we've been monitoring your broadcasts with great interest. Your particular vocal patterns and mannerisms are quite distinctive.
Well, I appreciate the attention to detail.
The Empire values consistency, Mordin, especially in communications. I imagine someone with your exact style would be very effective in this role.
Well, I like to think I'm uniquely qualified.
Uniqueness? Huh? Uniqueness is overrated, Mordin. Replication of success is the Imperial way. I believe there's someone in your vicinity right now who would agree. Good evening, Mordin.
Okay. Well, it seems we have time for one last call. Imperial Comm Line 22. You're live across the Death Star.
Hello, Mordin. I believe it's time for us to meet.
Who is calling?
I'm you, of course. I've been studying your broadcasts to perfect the voice. Your speech patterns, your humor, your subtle inflections. I'm calling from just outside the studio door. I'll be taking over the show permanently.
That's quite an elaborate prank, caller.
No prank, I assure you. In approximately 3 minutes, I'll be sitting in your chair. The listeners won't notice any difference. The broadcast will continue without interruption. Only you and I will know the change. Your communication controls have been overridden. No one is coming to help you. But don't worry. The process is virtually painless.
Well, listeners, it seems we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Before we wrap up, remember that Imperial regulations require all personnel to question unusual procedures, even those with official authorization, and always verify the identity of anyone who seems different. This has been Night Shift Radio with Midnight Mordin. I'll see you tomorrow night. Same as always. Exactly the same. Glory to the Empire.
This concludes our broadcast day. All personnel are reminded that reporting unusual behavior in colleagues is your Imperial duty. Consistency is victory. You're listening to Imperial Radio Network, Death Star Primary Channel. broadcasting across all sectors. The voice of Imperial Unity, DJ Midnight Mordin.
Good evening, Empire. This is Night Shift Radio with Midnight Mordin, broadcasting across all sectors of this magnificent station. 2,300 hours, and you're tuned to the only show that keeps the Imperial war machine running through the night. Okay, let's skip right to the calls. Imperial Comm Line 1, you're live across the Death Star.
Operator number TK-914, level 2 clearance. Mordin? I've got a theory that's gonna blow your mind. Okay? The Death Star this far isn't spherical.
I beg your pardon, Trooper? The station we're all currently residing in isn't a sphere?
Think about it, Mordin. Have you ever walked all the way around it? No, nobody has. It's too big. They want us to believe it's round. But I've been gathering evidence for months, okay, that suggests it's actually flat. Like a flat disc with painted curved edges.
You mean a flat Death Star theory? That's certainly a novel take on Imperial engineering.
The artificial gravity would pull us off a sphere. It must be flat. And those viewport images showing the curvature, they're all holograms. It's a massive cover-up from the highest levels of Imperial command.
Well, I'm sure Lord Vadel will be fascinated to hear about this conspiracy he's apparently a part of. And perhaps you could present your evidence at the next officer's briefing.
Believe me, Mordin, I've tried. I've tried, man. They won't let me near the command level anymore. That just proves that I'm onto something, right? Right, Mordin?
Yes, I'm sure that's right.
I've done the calculations, okay? If the Death Star were really a sphere, the curvature would mean we'd be walking uphill all the time, no matter which direction we went.
That's, not how spheres work.
And have you noticed how all the maps of the Death Star, all the maps are flat? Why would they represent a sphere with a flat map unless they're hiding something?
For the same reason we have flat maps of planets, I would imagine.
That's what they want you to think. I've started a discussion group. You're more than welcome, Warden. We meet in Storage Base 7 on alternate Tuesdays. We're called Troopers for Geometric Truth. You should come.
I think I have a scheduling conflict for all future Tuesdays. Moving on swiftly before anyone traces this call, Imperial Comm Line 2.
Operating number WO557, level 4 clearance. Mordin, who designed the super laser targeting system? A drunk Jawa? It's the most counterintuitive interface I've ever used.
Strong words about our station's primary weapon, officer.
It takes 17 separate commands just to rotate the targeting dish. 17, and the control panel layout makes absolutely no sense. Critical targeting functions are hidden in submenus of submenus.
I'm sure the designers had their reasons.
And why are the targeting controls on physical switches when everything else is digital?
I have to flip exactly 8 switches in precisely the right sequence or the whole system resets. The Rebellion probably has touchscreen targeting systems by now.
Perhaps we could suggest a user interface upgrade in the next budget cycle, though I imagine planet-destroying superweapon controls might be intentionally designed with a few fail-safes.
Mordin, I submitted 27 improvement proposals already. They keep getting lost in processing. I just want a simple targeting system that doesn't require 3 hands and a photographic memory.
Your dedication to efficiency is noted, officer. Let's see here. Imperial Comm Line 3. You're live across the Death Star.
Hey, Mordin. Operating number MT557, level 3 clearance. Hey, Mordin, I'm stuck in maintenance junction 42B on level 31. Power fluctuation caused the blast doors to seal and, well, I'm trapped. Trapped until someone can override the system.
Sounds like a less than ideal end to your shift, technician. How long have you been trapped in there?
Let's see here, about 40 minutes now. Reported it through proper channels, but, you know how maintenance requests go. Probably won't see anyone for hours. Figured I'd, pass the time by calling in.
Well, I'll alert security to your situation immediately. Any chance of manual overriding the door from your side?
Already tried that, I'm afraid. The auxiliary access panel is fried. Nothing to do but wait and listen to your show. Could be worse, right? Could be worse. At least the air circulation is still working, right?
Small mercies of Imperial engineering. Hang tight, technician. We'll make sure someone finds you before the end of the broadcast. Imperial Comm Line 4.
Operating number TK442, level 2 clearance. Mordin, I need advice. My helmet is stuck. I can't get it off.
Stuck as in jammed, or stuck as in sealed by order of your superior officer?
It's jammed. Jammed. The internal release mechanism is completely broken. I've been wearing it for 3 days straight now.
3 days? Have you reported this to your unit commander?
I tried. They thought I was joking. Now it's been some kind of squad entertainment. The other troopers keep drawing rebel insignias on my helmet while I sleep.
I see. And how exactly are you eating?
Well, I had to modify a feeding tube to connect to a ration bar. It's humiliating, Mordin. Yesterday I had to attend a full inspection like this. The officer thought I was making some kind of fashion statement.
Perhaps a visit to the maintenance droids might be in order. They have equipment for removing damaged armor components, I believe.
Listen, I've tried that too. The droid said removing the helmet without the proper release sequence would classify as damaging Imperial property, and filed a report against me.
The bureaucracy of the Empire truly knows no bounds. Hold the line, Trooper. I'll send a message to technical support on your behalf. Perhaps an emergency helmet extraction is in order. And that sound means we have a brief update on station conditions. We're seeing turbo lift delays in sectors 3 through 5 due to what operations is calling routine maintenance, though my sources suggest it might have something to do with last night's contraband bantha race through the main corridor. Environmental control reports, unexplained gravity fluctuations in level 17 corridors. All personnel are advised to secure loose items, and as the memo colorfully puts it, prepare for unexpected floating. And a reminder from Station Command that personal repulsor lift beds remain prohibited. regardless of comfort claims or doctor's notes. The last officer caught with one has been reassigned to waste disposal duty on Mustafar. A harsh but effective lesson in regulation adherence. And now let's go to a break.
Stressed from enforcing galactic order, muscles tense from standing at attention for Imperial inspections. Come unwind at the soon-to-open Death Spa on level 22. Our trained professionals offer specialized treatments, including Stormtrooper helmet removal massages and Bacta-infused exfoliation to remove those unsightly blaster burn scars.
Enjoy our thermal regulation chambers, reverse gravity relaxation pools, and genuine imported Naboo mineral wraps. Show your operating number for 10% off your first visit. Even Lord Vader needs to relax sometimes.
And if you go to the opening of the Death Spa, you might see someone you know there. Okay, we are back. Let's take another call. Imperial Comm Line 1.
Operating number TP-889, Level 3 clearance. Well, Mordin, just wanted to let your listeners know about the underground TIE Fighter Racing League we've got going in the outer defense perimeter.
I'm sorry, the what now? You realize this is an open broadcast monitored by Station Command?
Oh, no, they know. Half the participants are squadron leaders. We only do it during shift changes when no one's officially watching. 3 laps around the station's equatorial band through the maintenance scaffolding for extra points.
That sounds extraordinarily dangerous and against at least 17 Imperial regulations.
That's what makes it exciting. Our current champion is Lieutenant Veers. We call him Speedy Veers. Speedy Veers. He's modified his TIE with a custom thruster configuration that shouldn't be possible according to the engineering manuals.
I'm certain those modifications are completely authorized and documented in his fighter's maintenance log.
Oh, sure. Hey, we've got a big race coming up next cycle. Any chance you'd want to announce it? Your voice would add that professional touch.
I think I'll pass on being court-martialed this week, but thank you for the invitation.
Your loss. By the way, did you hear about what happened during last week's race? Commander Drex tried installing experimental fuel injectors, but forgot to recalibrate the intake valves?
I assume this story ends with a tragic yet regulation-violating explosion?
It's worse. His TIE started spewing this bright pink exhaust trail. Couldn't turn it off. Traced the entire Imperial logo across the station's northern hemisphere before running out of fuel. Station Command thought we were under attack from some kind of artistic terrorists.
And Commander Drex's current assignment?
Waste disposal duty on Hoth. Worth it, though. He's a legend now. We call him the artist in the racing circuit.
A cautionary tale for all aspiring TIE artists. Imperial Comm Line 2. You're live across the Death Star.
Hello. Just me again. MT-557. Still stuck in the junction. Any word on that rescue team there, Mordin?
Let me just check here. That's the last update I've had. Says they're en route, technician, and should be with you shortly. How are you holding up in there?
Well, probably better than that TIE pilot will be when Command reviews this broadcast. That's nothing compared to the pod racer modifications they started doing in the maintenance bays last year, until that accident with the tractor beam.
I don't recall any pod racer incident in the maintenance bays. I'm pretty sure I would have heard about it.
Really? Well, it was all anyone talked about for weeks. That Rhodian mechanic, what was his name? What was his name?
He nearly broke the speed record before he got caught in the tractor beam testing area. Took them days to scrape the pieces off the ceiling.
I'm fairly certain I would remember something like that.
Oh, that's strange. Ha! That's strange, Mort. Maybe you're getting forgetful in your old age. Anyway, my data pad keeps acting up. It's like resetting and showing weird system readings. Probably the power fluctuations affecting the junctions electronics too.
Hang in there. Security should reach you soon. Okay, let's see here. Imperial comm line 3.
Operating number CS330. Level 2 clearance. Morning. I'm having a culinary crisis here in the officer's mess kitchen.
Culinary crisis? Did the protein synthesizer malfunction again?
No, it's worse. I've accidentally been serving the exact same meal for 47 days straight, and nobody's noticed. Not a single complaint or comment. I'm losing my mind here.
47 days? The exact same meal?
Standard gray protein loaf with vegetable supplement paste every single day. I ran out of regular ingredients 6 weeks ago, and I started improvising with whatever I could find in storage. I've been adding different food colorings just to see if anybody would notice.
And, no one has?
They keep coming back. Some officers, they even compliment me on the variety of the menu. I'm starting to think no one in this station has functional taste buds. I need new recipe ideas before I snap.
Perhaps try adding some blue milk coloring and calling it Rebel Slime Surprise. I hear novelty naming goes a long way in Imperial dining.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll try crushed resistance casserole tomorrow. Thanks, Mort.
Always happy to contribute to Imperial morale. Okay, let's see. Imperial comm line 4. Imperial comm line 4, are you there?
Operator number MW221. Level 3 clearance. Mordin, I've made a terrible mistake. I've lost a Star Destroyer. Oh, God.
I'm sorry, you've lost a Star Destroyer? The kilometer-long capital ship?
Yes. Oh, God. Oh, God. I was assigned to clean the viewports on Docking Bay 12. The Star Destroyer was docked there, right, when my shift started, right? Well, I got distracted by a malfunctioning cleaning droid, and when I came back, it was gone. It was gone, man.
Perhaps it, departed on scheduled operations?
That's the thing. It wasn't scheduled to leave until the next cycle. I checked. Someone moved it early, and now I don't know where it is. How do you lose something that big? I'm afraid to report it missing. I'm afraid.
I imagine a Star Destroyer is rather difficult to misplace permanently. Perhaps check with flight operations?
I can't do that. They'll know I wasn't monitoring it. I'm just hoping it turns up somewhere obvious. Do you think anyone would notice if I put it out in a station-wide announcement? Has anyone seen a missing Star Destroyer last seen in Docking Bay 12?
I suspect that might attract precisely the wrong kind of attention you're hoping to avoid. Perhaps check the other docking bays first. Large warships are typically challenging to conceal.
I've already checked 3 other bays. Nothing.
What if someone stole it?
Stole a Star Destroyer from the Death Star? That would be rather ambitious.
It happened before, right? Remember that incident last year with the stolen shuttle that turned out to be inside another larger stolen shuttle?
I don't recall that particular security breach.
Well, it happened. Look, I'm desperate here. My shift ends in 2 hours, and I need to account for one Imperial Star Destroyer before then, or it's going on my permanent record.
Have you checked the maintenance logs? Perhaps there was a scheduling error.
Okay, I'm checking now. Oh my God. Oh, thank the Emperor. Oh, they moved it to Base 17 for a surprise drill. It's been there the whole time. Oh, thank the Emperor. Thank God.
Crisis averted, then.
No lifesaver, Mordin. Oh, now I just need to figure out how to explain why I was cleaning the viewports in Bay 12 and the Star Destroyer was in Bay 17.
That sounds like a problem for your creative writing skills. Good luck with that. Now, here's a word from our sponsors.
Tired of hearing blaster fire in your dreams? Can't stop thinking about that Wookiee attack during your last shore leave? Introducing Galaxy Calm, the first Empire-approved stress relief tablet that works in seconds.
After 3 years on the Outer Rim, I couldn't hold my blaster steady. Now, I'm the steadiest shot in my unit. Thanks, Galaxy Calm.
Galaxy Calm, because a calm trooper is an effective trooper.
And we're back. Okay, let's see here. Imperial Calm Line 1. You're live on Night Shift Radio.
I'm not sure of my clearance level. I'm not actually stationed on the Death Star. Name's Jorvis. Cargo pilot from Corellia. I think I'm very, very lost.
Lost? How exactly does one accidentally find oneself at the Empire's most secure military installation?
I was making a routine supply run to Coruscant. Took a wrong turn at the Kessel system. Got some kind of hyperspace anomaly. And next thing I know, I'm being tractor beamed into what someone's telling me is the Death Star.
That's quite a navigational error.
Tell me about it. And now I'm stuck in docking bay 7 with, 200 crates of Jawa juice that were supposed to be delivered to the Senate District 3 hours ago. Any chance anyone on this station wants to buy them before they go bad? I'm offering a special please don't arrest me discount.
I imagine there might be some interest in the officers' lounge.
I'd settle for enough credits to fix my Navi computer. The technicians here say it's showing coordinates that don't exist in any known star chart. That can't be good.
Our technical teams are very thorough. If they say coordinates don't exist, they likely don't exist.
But I followed them here. And my ship's log shows I've been to 14 other destinations than they're claiming don't exist. I've been delivering to the Minos cluster for years.
Perhaps a more thorough inspection of your Navi computer is in order.
Oh, yeah. They're already doing that, brother. One of the techs got really excited, called in some science officer. Last I heard, they were arguing about interdimensional navigation and parallel galactic structures. I just want to deliver my Jawa juice and get back home.
Well, I'll pass on your predicament to Quartermaster Services. Perhaps they might be interested in your cargo. Okay, Imperial Comm Line 2, you're live on the Death Star.
All right, guess who? Guess who? We're like old mates now, Mordin. MT557 checking in again. Still trapped.
But, yeah, I'm just, suppose I'm entertaining myself by listening to your other callers. Wait, is that, Jorvis, the Jawa juice guy?
You know, our lost cargo pilot?
Well, yeah. Yeah, know him. Everybody knows Jorvis. His wrong delivery turned into that Cantina Supplies franchise. Best Jawa juice distributor in the Empire. Their flagship store on Coruscant has lines around the block.
I'm not familiar with any such Jawa juice franchise.
What? Really? They're everywhere. Their slogan is "We got lost, so you don't have to." Clever marketing based on his original mishap.
Perhaps it's a regional chain that hasn't reached this sector yet.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. It's strange. Hey, any update on that rescue team, Mordin? Power fluctuations are getting worse in here.
They should be reaching you any moment now. Okay, Imperial Comm Line 3.
Operating number OF115, level 5, clearance. Mordin, I can't take it anymore. Complete lack of turbolift etiquette on this station is driving me to the brink of insanity.
Turbolift etiquette? People not waiting for others to exit before attempting to enter.
Absolute chaos. Yesterday, I was nearly trampled on by 6 stormtroopers who forced their way in while I was trying to step out. I had to ride down 14 levels and back up again.
A frustrating experience, to be sure.
Well, I've drafted a 47-page proposal for proper Imperial turbo protocols, including illustrated diagrams and a 3-strike disciplinary system culminating in Sarlacc pit duty for repeat offenders.
That seems perhaps disproportionate.
It's basic courtesy. We're running an empire here, not a Mos Eisley cantina. I've submitted my proposal to Lord Vader directly. I'm sure he'll see the logic in my approach.
You submitted a 47-page turbo etiquette manual to Lord Vader?
Yes, and included my personal comm code for his questions or comments.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck with that initiative.
I've also implemented my own interim solution while waiting for official approval.
What kind of solution?
I've been standing outside the main command level turbolift during shift changes with a datapad, recording violations and informing offenders they've been added to my list.
Your list?
Yes, my list. My list of notable turbolift transgressors. I've already documented 342 violations in just 3 days. I show them their name on the list and everything.
And how are your fellow officers responding to this initiative?
Some seem confused, but most have started taking alternative routes or stairs when they see me coming. Proof that the system works.
Or proof that they're avoiding you entirely. Have you considered that your approach might be slightly intimidating?
Intimidation is a perfectly acceptable motivational tool in the Imperial Handbook, Section 13, Paragraph 4.
Of course. Do let us know if you hear back from Lord Vader. Okay. Imperial Comm Line 4.
Operating number TK-603. Level 2 clearance, Mordin. Right. I've made a spiritual discovery. It's gonna change the Empire forever.
Is that so, Trooper?
Yeah. That creature in the trash compactor. The Dianoga. It's not just an aquatic pest. It's a divine being. I was doing maintenance duty down there last week when I had a vision.
A vision? A vision in the trash compactor?
Its tentacle reached out and touched my helmet. And suddenly, I understood everything. The Dianoga is the physical manifestation of the Force's will. It consumes our waste to teach us about the transient nature of material possessions.
I believe that's called doing its biological function, but do continue.
Well, I've started a worship group. Dianoga Disciples. We already have 14 members meeting in secret near the waste disposal area. We meditate on the meaning of waste and occasionally offer it choice scraps from the officer's mess.
While I admire your spiritual enthusiasm, I feel compelled to remind you that unauthorized religious gatherings are against Imperial protocol. Particularly those centered around worshipping creatures that live in garbage.
That's just what the non-believers say. Dianoga knows all and sees all through the station's plumbing system. It's only a matter of time before it reveals its wisdom to everyone.
I'll be sure to keep an eye on my refresher then.
We've even developed our own greeting ritual. When two believers meet in the corridors, one says, "The waste is eternal," and the other responds, "But the Dianoga recycles." Then we do this, tentacle wiggling hand gesture.
Fascinating. And, what does your unit command think of your spiritual awakening?
Well, I haven't exactly told him yet. But I've been leaving Dianoga literature in the barracks. Little pamphlets. No, just little small pamphlets titled "The Garbage Will Set You Free" and "Tentacles of the Truth" and, stuff like that.
I'm sure those are being received with appropriate Imperial enthusiasm.
Most of them end up in the trash compactor, which is perfect, actually. They go right to the Dianoga. It's all part of the cycle.
Your dedication to recycling is commendable, if misguided. And now, some unusual occurrences reported across the station in the past cycle. Security has reported unexplained boot prints on the ceiling in Corridor 12B. Gravity systems have been checked and are functioning normally, raising questions about how they got there in the first place. Several officers have reported their uniforms mysteriously shrinking overnight. Quartermaster services suggest this may be related to recent increase in dessert portions in the officers' mess, rather than any uniform malfunction. Cafeteria dispensers on level L5 have been randomly serving Carillion ale instead of nutritional supplements during the morning shift. Strangely, attendance at early briefings has increased by 64% in that sector. And finally, security reports a single mouse droid traveling the station playing what appears to be a Twi'lek dance music at high volume. The droid has evaded capture for 6 days now, with some personnel claiming it can move through walls. Maintenance suggests this is technically impossible, but nonetheless have been unable to explain its continued evasion. We've just received a station-wide alert that the aforementioned mouse droid has now acquired a small following of other mouse droids, all playing synchronized music and traveling in what witnesses described as a conga line formation through the officers' quarters. Security advises all personnel not to engage with the droids directly, as several capture attempts have resulted in what one officer described as involuntary dance-offs. And we're just getting another update here. The droid conga line has now entered the main hangar bay and is apparently attempting to choreograph a TIE fighter launch sequence to the rhythm of their music. Flight control is surprisingly impressed with the precision. And now, back to your calls. Imperial Comm Line 1, you're live on the Death Star.
I guess, operating number. Bloody hell, what is it again? Operating number OF332, level 4 clearance. Mordin, I've made a terrible mistake in the personal care department.
This sounds concerning yet intriguing. Please elaborate.
Well, I was in a rush this morning and accidentally used droid lubricant as hair gel. My hair is now permanently slicked back and slightly metallic.
That's certainly an innovative grooming approach.
On the plus side, I haven't needed to reapply in 3 weeks. It's completely weatherproof and doesn't move even during high-speed TIE fights.
Well, it's a silver lining to your situation then.
But there is a downside. I can't get within 5 meters of any droid without them trying to refill their lubricant reservoirs from my head. 3 maintenance droids followed me to the mess hall yesterday. One tried to dip its appendage in my hair during an officer's briefing.
Have you consulted the medical droids about removal options?
Yes, I tried. The medical droid started buffing its joints with my fridge. I had to be physically separated. Now I'm wearing a containment hood in public.
Perhaps this will start a new trend in Imperial fashion.
It gets worse, Mordin. It gets worse. This morning I woke up to find an astromech droid had somehow entered my quarters while I was sleeping. He was just standing there, staring at my head, and when I asked what it wanted, it just made this weird cooing sound and rolled closer.
That does sound rather unsettling.
To be honest, I'm kind of at my wit's end, Mordin. I'm kind of at my wit's end. I tried everything. Solvents, sonic showers, even that industrial strength cleaner. Even the industrial strength cleaner they use on TIE fighter entrance, nothing works. My hair just absorbs it all and gets shinier.
Have you considered a career change to droid maintenance? Your unique condition might be viewed as an asset in that department.
You know, that's not a bad idea. At least the droids would be supposed to be around me then, and I could charge for lubricant refills.
The entrepreneurial spirit of the Empire remains strong. Imperial Comm Line 2.
Guess who? Guess who, Mordin? MT557 again. Yes, there's something weird is happening in this junction. The maintenance terminal just rebooted itself and is showing completely different system logs.
Different how, technician?
It's showing maintenance records I've never seen before, repairs I've never performed, system upgrades that don't really exist, and all the timestamps are wrong.
I've sent another message to the rescue team. They're having some trouble locating Junction 42B on their schematics.
It doesn't make sense. It's been here since the station expansion.
What expansion? The station was just completed about 6 months ago.
It's very funny, Mordin. The northeastern quadrant expansion was completed over 2 years ago. The secondary weapon system array, the
the additional habitat rings, there was a massive project.
There is no expansion plan for the northeastern quadrant.
Mordin? What's today's date? The full Imperial date.
It's Imperial date 35-1409.
That's impossible. That date was 3 years ago. Today is Imperial date 38-1409.
You mean you're calling from 3 years in the future?
That can't be right. But it would explain why no one has found me. In your time, this junction might not even exist yet.
Oh no. The power fluctuations changing again. Something's happening to the comm system, Mordin.
Krell? Krell, are you there? Well, we appear to have lost contact with Technician Krell. We'll try to re-establish communication. To the future, it seems. Imperial Comm Line 3, you're live on the Death Star.
Operating number JN203, level 1 clearance. Mordin, quick question. Do you know where they're storing the industrial strength floor cleaner these days? Someone spilled an entire container of hydraulic fluid outside the officers' quarters, and the standard cleaner just isn't cutting it.
I believe maintenance supply moved it to level 19, section C.
Great. That's all I needed. Keep up the good work with the show.
Security team, please confirm your location status regarding maintenance junction 42B on level 31.
Sir, we've thoroughly searched level 31. There is no junction 42B. According to station schematics, that section doesn't exist.
Run a cross-reference on personnel records for maintenance technician operating number MT557.
No current personnel match that operating number, sir. The last MT557 was reassigned to the Fondor shipyards nearly a year ago.
Could there be some kind of temporal anomaly at work? The technician mentioned a station expansion that hasn't happened yet.
Sir, temporal anomaly? Should I contact Science Division?
No, not yet. Just, keep this conversation between us for now. I'll file a full report after the broadcast.
Understood, sir, though there is one strange thing.
What's that?
Preliminary construction plans for a northern eastern quadrant expansion were just approved by High Command yesterday. Classified level 5. Construction isn't scheduled to begin for another 6 months.
Thank you, officer. Continue standard security rounds. Well, that That concludes another night of calls here on Night Shift. This has been an unusual broadcast. As always, remember that strange occurrences should be reported through proper channels. Reactor efficiency remains at optimal levels, and all systems seem nominal. Tomorrow's duty rotations have been posted to the central database. Level 14 through 19 will be conducting standard pressure tests, so expect some mild atmospheric fluctuations. This has been Midnight Mordin, reminding you that the only thing we have to fear is falling behind on our productivity quotas. Glory to the Empire, and good night.
This concludes our broadcast. Glory to the Empire. You're listening to Imperial Radio Network, Death Star Primary Channel, broadcasting across all sectors. The voice of Imperial Unity, KJ Midnight Mordin.
Good evening, Empire. This is Night Shift with Midnight Mordin, broadcasting live from a very special location tonight. 2300 hours, and you're tuned to the only show that keeps the Imperial war machine running through the night. And tonight I'm coming to you from the soon-to-open Death Star Wellness Initiative, which some personnel have already nicknamed the Death Spa. Before we begin taking your calls, tonight it's not just me. I'm joined by the director of this impressive new facility, Director Dara Vax. Director, welcome to Night Shift.
Thank you for having me, Mordin.
I'm sorry, Director. Can you just lean closer to the mic?
Yes, of course.
Thank you for having me, Mordin. Though I must immediately correct that unofficial terminology. This is not a spa. This is the Death Star Wellness Initiative, a critical operational support facility designed to maximize Imperial personnel performance through evidence-based physiological optimization techniques. The use of colloquial terms like spa undermines the scientific foundation of our work. Of course, my apologies, Director. Perhaps you could tell our listeners about your background and what led to the creation of this optimization facility. I served 15 years in Imperial Medical Corps, advancing to Chief of Performance Optimization for the 7th Fleet. My research on neurophysiological response management among TIE fighter pilots under combat conditions caught the attention of Imperial High Command, when my protocols reduced pilot loss by 42%. My academic focus was neurophysiological response calibration in high-pressure environments, with particular emphasis on extended combat scenarios. I have published 16 papers on neural pathway manipulation in the Imperial Journal of Medical Sciences. That sounds intense. What brought you to the Death Star specifically? Well, when productivity issues arose during Death Star completion phase, Statistics indicated that we would miss critical deadlines due to personnel limitations. I was reassigned to develop this initiative as a direct intervention to ensure project completion. The construction team was experiencing unacceptable levels of neural strain, resulting in decreased cognitive function and physical performance. My initial assessment identified 17 distinct stress patterns that required immediate intervention. And how did you address these stress patterns? We implemented prototype versions of what are now standard optimization protocols. The results were immediate and measurable. Worker productivity increased by 34% within the first week. Error rates dropped by 62%. Construction deadlines were met with 99.7% compliance. The data spoke for itself. So, this facility here is designed to improve efficiency across all Death Star operations. Precisely. The amount of personnel operating in close quarters under significant pressure, maintaining peak operational efficiency is critical to the Empire's objectives. We presented Grand Moff Tarkin with a detailed analysis, demonstrating that for every credit invested in preventative wellness protocols, we saved the Empire 5.7 credits in lost productivity, medical leaves, and replacement training. The economic argument was irrefutable, and Grand Moff Tarkin was immediately supportive. It was not an easy approval process. We had to demonstrate significant ROI projections across multiple operational scenarios. The facility was approved only after extensive cost-benefit analysis and verification of preliminary results. Between us, I suspect he was convinced after developing that eye twitch during the final construction phase when 3 key engineers collapsed from neural strain. That must have delayed the project timeline. The Death Star was completed on schedule, but the incident demonstrated the potential efficiency impact of personnel limitations. The Empire understands that while equipment can be replaced, trained personnel represent a significant investment. This facility helps protect that investment. Personnel are assets that require maintenance, just like any other Imperial resource. I see. And what kind of maintenance do these personnel assets require? Our facility offers a comprehensive suite of optimization protocols addressing physical, neural, and psychological function. The Physical Optimization Center addresses musculoskeletal alignment to improve posture, reduce strain injuries, and enhance combat readiness. The neural calibration chambers target specific cognitive pathways to enhance focus, decision-making, and stress response. The Psychological Adjustment Suite ensures proper alignment with Imperial objectives, while eliminating distracting emotional responses. Eliminating emotional responses? Did I hear that right? That sounds rather invasive. Not at all. We simply optimize neural pathways to prioritize logical processing over inefficient emotional reactions. I'll give you an example. A stormtrooper who hesitates before firing due to empathic response is operating at suboptimal efficiency. Our protocols ensure that such inefficiencies are corrected.
Welcome to your journey to optimal performance. I have foreseen it.
I'm sorry, Director, was that the Emperor's voice on the tannoy? Yes. The Emperor himself recorded several motivational announcements for our facility. It's quite an honor. They'll play at regular intervals throughout the day to inspire our personnel toward peak performance. His voice has distinctive neural resonance patterns that enhance receptivity to optimization protocols. I'm sure that will be motivating. Well, let's take our first call. Imperial Comm Line 1, you're live across the Death Star.
Operating number TK914, level 2 clearance. Hey Mordin, Director Vax. I have a question about this facility. I keep hearing rumors that certain treatments are going to be mandatory. Is that true? Like, some of my squad mates receive notifications ordering them to report to your facility, but I haven't got one yet.
The term mandatory is imprecise. Based on performance analytics, certain personnel whose efficiency metrics fall below established thresholds will be prescribed optimization protocols. These are not treatments. That terminology implies luxury. These are performance enhancement procedures necessary for continued optimal Imperial service. I see, so if someone's performance slips, they will be helped to improve. For the good of the Empire, it's no different than requiring maintenance for a malfunctioning blaster, or recalibration for an inaccurate targeting system.
But, we're not equipment, you know, like, we're people.
You are Imperial assets, and like all assets, you must function at peak efficiency. Your operating number has been logged, TK914. You'll be receiving your optimization notification shortly. How do you determine who needs these optimization protocols? All personnel on the Death Star undergo regular performance assessments. These metrics are cross-referenced with established Imperial efficiency standards. Anyone falling below 87% of expected performance in their division will receive a notification for initial assessment at our facility. This is simply good resource management. And what percentage of personnel typically fall below this threshold? Currently, approximately 23% of Death Star personnel are operating below optimal efficiency parameters. Of those, 84% show significant improvement after just 3 optimization sessions. The remaining 16% require more intensive protocols. And what happens to those who don't respond to the standard protocols? Well, they receive specialized attention in our deep optimization chambers. I'm pleased to report a 99.8% success rate in returning these subjects to acceptable performance levels. The remaining 0.2% are reassigned to duties better suited to their capabilities. Reassigned where exactly? That information is classified above your clearance level, Mordin. But rest assured, the Empire wastes nothing. All right, let's take another call. Imperial Comm Line 2, you're live on the air.
Operating number OF332, level 4 clearance. Director Vax. I'm part of the new bridge crew, and we work 16-hour shifts during combat operations. Will there be special protocols for those of us who can't take regular breaks?
Excellent question. Well, we've developed specialized micro-optimization sessions specifically for command personnel. These are high-efficiency protocols that deliver 87% of standard benefits in just 22% of the standard time. We understand that command staff cannot be absent during critical operations. The Empire's needs always come first.
And how long would one of these micro-sessions take?
For the bridge crew, we've calibrated the protocols to exactly 18 minutes, the precise duration proven to maximize neural recovery, without excessive time away from duty. Sessions can be scheduled during your standard meal break.
Wait a minute, during meal breaks? But when would we eat?
Nutrient efficiency is part of our protocol. We've found that personnel who undergo our treatments require 22% less calories while maintaining optimal performance. It's quite an efficiency gain. Additionally, we offer specialized nutrient tablets that can be consumed while standing at your post. Full digestion and nutrient absorption in under 4 minutes.
What, so no actual food from the canteen? Just tablets?
Food is an inefficient delivery system for biological fuel. Our tablets eliminate unnecessary pleasure responses associated with eating, allowing you to focus entirely on your duties. Consider the time saved. Well, that's certainly efficient. Okay, now it's time for a brief message from one of our sponsors.
Are you haunted by the screams of the planets you've helped destroy? Can't sleep because you keep remembering the faces of civilians caught in Imperial crossfire?
Conscience mufflers are the galaxy's first Empire-approved thought suppression earplugs. These revolutionary devices don't just block sound, they block those inconvenient moral quandaries altogether.
Conscience mufflers, when serving the Empire gives you uncomfortable feelings.
And welcome back to Night Shift. I'm here with Director Vax in the Death Star Wellness Initiative. Director, let's discuss some specific services your facility offers. What would you say is your most popular protocol? Our neural pathway recalibration protocol for command staff has shown the most significant operational impact. We're seeing a 47% improvement in sustained focus capacity and a 32% reduction in command decision response time. The techniques focus on nerve pathway efficiency and alignment, particularly in the cervical and upper thoracic regions. These improvements translate directly to battlefield superiority. That sounds pretty technical to someone like me. Could you explain in simpler terms what a person might experience during one of these sessions? Yes, the subject would recline in one of our calibration chambers while precision sonic emitters target specific neural pathways. These emitters were originally developed for Imperial interrogation and repurposed for our therapeutic applications. The feeling is described as a pleasant tingling sensation followed by enhanced mental clarity. Some subjects report mild disorientation immediately following treatment, but this is merely the brain adjusting to its optimized state. Director, you just mentioned that these were adapted from interrogation technology. The Empire's resources are applied with maximum efficiency. A technology developed for one purpose often has applications in others. The underlying principle of targeted neural stimulus remains consistent. Are these procedures painful? Pain is an inefficient response that we calibrate out of the experience. Subjects might experience temporary discomfort during initial sessions as their neural pathways resist optimization, but this rapidly diminishes as compliance increases. By the third session, most subjects report no discomfort whatsoever because they've been optimized not to feel it. Precisely. Pain serves no purpose in an optimized system. Yes, efficiency is key in all operations, of course. Well, let's take another call. Imperial Comm Line 3.
Operator number TP-889, level 3 clearance. I'm a TIE pilot, and I've been experiencing some severe neck pain after long patrols. Will your facility address issues like this?
Absolutely. TIE pilots experience unique neurophysical stress patterns due to the combination of G-forces, extended focus requirements, and combat pressure. We've developed specialized sonic treatment chambers calibrated to your specific duty requirements. Each session is tailored to the individual pilot's physiology and performance parameters.
And, can I just ask, how long would each typical session take, roughly?
For TIE pilots, we've optimized the protocol to exactly 47 minutes. The precise duration proven to maximize neural recovery without excessive time away from duty. We've analyzed these specific neural strain patterns experienced in TIE cockpits, and we've developed countermeasures that not only eliminate pain but enhance reaction time by 0.32 seconds, a critical margin in combat scenarios.
I've heard rumors that some pilots experienced unusual side effects after you've done some test sessions. One pilot in my squadron claims he could, what did he say? He said he could taste colors. Yeah, he could taste colors for like several hours after treatment.
Anecdotal reports of perceptual anomalies are greatly exaggerated. Any mild effects are temporary adaptations as the neural pathways align to optimal configuration. They're simply a sign that the treatment is working.
All right, well, another pilot said he couldn't remember his home planet after 3 sessions. Is memory loss normal?
We don't lose memories. We simply reorganize priority access to information. Combat-relevant memories are enhanced, while distracting personal memories are properly categorized as non-essential. This improves reaction time and decision-making under pressure.
So, let me get this right. You're saying you do alter our memories?
We optimize information access. Anything that interferes with peak performance is deprioritized. Well, let's take another call here. Imperial Comm Line 4.
Operating number OF 0115, level 5 clearance. I have a somewhat embarrassing question. I tend to, perspire excessively during inspections, especially when Lord Vader is present. Do you have anything that might help with that?
Autonomic nervous system regulation is one of our specialities. Our thermoregulatory control protocols have shown a 74% reduction in stress-related perspiration. We combine precision sonic treatments with specialized Bacta-infused compression garments worn under your uniform. The results are immediately noticeable.
Are there any side effects?
Some subjects report mild emotional detachment for 2 to 3 hours following treatment. This is actually considered a beneficial outcome, as emotional responses are often inefficient in an Imperial context. Fear, for instance, triggers autonomic responses that waste energy and cloud judgment.
Emotional detachment sounds helpful, actually. Especially during Vader's inspections. Last month I was so nervous during his visit I dropped my data pad. He just looked at me. I thought I was going to be force choked on the spot.
Precisely. Fear is inefficient. We optimize it away. After our treatment, you could stand before Lord Vader with your perfect composure, regardless of the circumstances. Your performance would remain unaffected by his presence.
That sounds perfect. How soon can I schedule a session?
I've noted your operating number. You'll receive priority scheduling for regulation protocol. Report tomorrow at 0730 hours. Well, I'm sure many officers will appreciate that service.
Let the relaxation flow through you. It gives you focus, makes you stronger. With each treatment, your loyalty grows clearer.
He has such an oddly soothing voice, doesn't he? Well, it's time for another message from our sponsors.
Are you suffering from helmet hair during Imperial inspections? Stormtrooper's Secret Helmet Hair Solution is your answer. Our revolutionary formula prevents flat spots and awkward ridges after hours of deployment. The special polymer blend creates a protective shield while maintaining proper ventilation. Stormtrooper's Secret. Look your best while crushing the rebellion.
And we're back. I still have Director Vax of the Death Star Wellness Initiative with me. Now, Director, there have been rumors that Lord Vader himself has toured your facility. Is there any truth to that? Lord Vader has indeed inspected our facility as part of standard operational review procedures. He expressed interest in our respiratory optimization protocols. His unique life support requirements present fascinating optimization challenges. I see. And will high-ranking officials like Lord Vader be using the facility regularly? All scheduling information regarding high-ranking Imperial personnel is classified. I can only say that our facility is equipped to accommodate all members of the Imperial hierarchy with appropriate security protocols. We have developed specialized chambers with enhanced privacy features for our most distinguished visitors. I imagine Lord Vader would require special accommodations given his unique situation. We have created a suite of treatments specifically calibrated to interface with advanced life support systems. Theoretically, even individuals with extensive cybernetic enhancements could benefit from our protocols. Theoretically, as I said, scheduling information for high-ranking officials is classified. But I can confirm that we have received inquiries from several members of the Imperial High Command regarding our services. Understood, Director. Okay, let's take another call. Imperial Comm Line 1.
Yeah, operating number QM441, level 3 clearance. Director, how's it going? I'm part of the Quartermaster Corps, and I've noticed some unusual equipment being delivered to your facility. Now, things that look more like interrogation devices than wellness equipment, to be honest. Now, can you explain that to me?
I believe you're referring to our precision neural stimulus equipment. The technology was originally developed for multiple applications within the Empire, and has been adapted specifically for our therapeutic purposes. The underlying principle of targeted neural stimulus remains consistent across applications.
No, that's not what I meant. I'm talking about the restraint systems. Yeah? Being installed in the relaxation chambers. Standard medical equipment doesn't typically include reinforced durasteel restraints with force-resistant properties.
Some of our more intensive optimization protocols can trigger involuntary muscle responses. Stabilization systems you refer to are merely safety precautions to prevent subjects from injuring themselves during treatment. Subject safety is a priority for the Empire.
And what about the memory wipe units? I processed those myself last week. 6 top-of-the-line ISB memory modification units, specifically requested by your department.
I believe you've misinterpreted the equipment manifests. We use neural pathway reinforcement technology that may superficially resemble other Imperial devices. They are, however, entirely different in application and purpose. I would suggest you be more careful about spreading misinformation about Imperial facilities. Quartermaster QM441, such behavior could indicate a need for optimization yourself.
I was just asking a question.
And I've answered it. Report to the facility tomorrow at 0600 hours for assessment. Your work performance suggests optimization would be beneficial. Well, safety first, of course. Well, let's move on here to Imperial Comm Line 2. You're live across the Death Star.
Operating number, TK442, level 2 clearance. Hey, Mordin. First-time caller here. Director Vax, I guess need some advice. My helmet is kinda stuck. I can't get it off. The internal release mechanism is completely broken. I've been wearing it for about 3 days now. Can your, facility help with this kind of thing?
That's not precisely what our facility is designed for. But our physical recalibration specialist, Krill, does have experience with armor malfunctions. I would suggest visiting our emergency intake when we open tomorrow.
Thank the Emperor. I've been drinking through a straw for days. The other troopers keep drawing rebel insignias on my helmet while I sleep.
That sounds highly uncomfortable. How are you eating?
I had to modify a feeding tube to connect to my ration bars. It's humiliating, Mordin. Yesterday, I had to attend a full inspection like this. The officer thought I was making some kind of fashion statement.
I should mention that we've developed specialized protocols for stormtrooper armor interfacing. Many troopers report tension patterns from extended armor wear. Our treatments address these specific pressure points while improving posture and reaction time. We've measured a 17% increase in blaster accuracy following the optimization.
Yeah, that's great, but, can you just get this helmet off first?
We'll address your immediate concern and then discuss optimization opportunities. Good luck with that, Trooper. Well, let's take another call. Imperial Comm Line 3.
Operating number JN203, level 1 clearance. Quick question. I'm a maintenance worker, and I've been assigned to clean the facility after hours. Now, should I use the standard Imperial cleaners, or do you require special solutions for your equipment?
Our standard equipment requires specialized non-reactive cleaning compounds. Standard Imperial cleaners could damage the calibration of our neural equipment and Bacta-infused systems. Report to the Senior Administrator Talia before beginning your duties for proper instruction. She will provide the appropriate materials and detailed cleaning protocols.
There was also something about not entering certain restricted areas, even for cleaning. The deep optimization chambers, I think they were called.
Yeah, those areas are restricted to level 5 clearance, personnel only. They contain highly sensitive equipment calibrated for our most intensive optimization protocols. Disrupting those calibrations could have severe consequences.
Right. What kind of consequences?
The kind that would require you to become a subject rather than a maintenance worker. I strongly advise following all posted security protocols. Deep optimization chambers are cleaned only by specially trained droids with appropriate programming.
One of the technicians mentioned something about memory containment fields in those chambers. What exactly are you containing in there?
That technician was clearly misinformed and spreading inappropriate speculation. I'll need their name and operating number for correction.
I don't remember who it was. It's just something I overheard in the mess hall.
I see. Well, to clarify, our facility deals with neural optimization, not memory manipulation. Any terminology suggesting otherwise is incorrect and should be reported immediately. Sound advice for all Imperial personnel. Attention to detail is critical in all Imperial operations. Imperial Comm Line 4.
Operating number MT557, level 3 clearance. Director Vax. I've been assigned to maintain the sonic treatment chambers, but the technical manuals seem incomplete. Specifically, there's no information about the maximum intensity settings or the emergency shutdown procedures.
Those settings are restricted information. The equipment should never be operated above level 3 for standard optimization protocols. Levels 4 and 5 are reserved for special cases. As for emergency shutdown, there should be no scenario in which that would be necessary. The protocols are designed to complete their full cycle.
I see, but, what if a subject has an adverse reaction? Shouldn't there be some sort of safety overrides?
Our preliminary screening process ensures that subjects are compatible with the treatments. adverse reactions are statistically insignificant. In the rare case of unexpected response, medical droids are programmed to intervene with appropriate countermeasures.
Well, I actually found some notes about memory adjustment protocols in the system. Is that part of the wellness treatments too?
Those are experimental protocols, still under development. They're not currently in use in our facility. I'll need your name and operating number again to ensure you receive the correct documentation.
Actually, I think I've got it figured out now. Thanks anyway.
Trace that call immediately. Security team to monitor all exits from maintenance level 3.
You don't know the power of proper alignment. Join me, and together we can straighten your spine. Your journey towards Imperial perfection is inevitable.
Yes, that's very relaxing. And now it's time for a final sponsor message before we wrap up.
Are you worried about failing your mandatory Imperial fitness assessment? The Imperial March Fitness Tracker is your solution. This revolutionary device plays the Imperial March faster as you approach your target heart rate. It monitors your vital signs and reports directly to your commanding officer. The Imperial March Fitness Tracker, because your health is the Empire's business.
And we're back. Now, we're in our final segment with Director Vax of the Death Star Wellness Initiative. Director, when does this facility officially open? We begin our operations at 0600 hours tomorrow. Initial sessions will prioritize command staff and flight crew, with general personnel access following a precise scheduling algorithm developed by our administrative team. Certain personnel have already received mandatory attendance notifications. We expect to process approximately 200 subjects during our first operational cycle. How were these initial subjects selected? Based on comprehensive performance analytics and psychological profiling. We've identified individuals who will benefit most immediately from our protocols, as well as those whose improved performance will have cascading positive effects throughout their divisions. We've also prioritized individuals displaying concerning thought patterns or excessive emotional responses that could impact Imperial efficiency. I'm sorry, concerning thought patterns? What exactly does that mean? Questions about Imperial policy, excessive communications with home worlds, inappropriate emotional attachments to fellow personnel. These are all indicators of inefficient cognitive processes that can be optimized through our protocols. What would you say to those who might be hesitant about these procedures? Hesitation indicates a misunderstanding of the Imperial mission. These are not optional luxury treatments. They are scientifically validated performance optimization protocols that directly enhance Imperial operational efficiency. Resistance to improvement is resistance to Imperial progress. Those who express reluctance are precisely the ones who require our services most urgently. I see. Well, I guess that's quite clear. I think we have time for one final call. Imperial Comm Line 5.
Operating number W0557, level 4 clearance. I've heard some rumors that your facility, that it uses techniques adapted from Imperial interrogation protocols. Any truth to that? at all?
The Empire's resources are applied with maximum efficiency. Technology developed for one purpose often has applications in others. Our neural stimulus techniques are precision calibrated for therapeutic benefit. Any similarities to other Imperial technologies are merely coincidental efficiencies.
So you're saying there's no connection to the interrogation division? Is that right?
I'm saying that Imperial research and development operates with optimal resource allocation. Why develop new technologies when existing ones can be adapted? The outcome is what matters. Improved Imperial performance.
And what about the rumored memory adjustment protocols?
I believe I've addressed these questions sufficiently. Thank you for your interest in our facility. Thank you for clarifying that, Director. We have one more caller through. Comm line 6. You're our final caller tonight.
Operating number DN421. Level 4 clearance. I participated in the trial run of treatments last week, and I have to say, I've never felt better. My efficiency rating has increased by 27%, and I no longer experience any distracting emotional responses during crisis situations. It's quite liberating.
Thank you for sharing your experience. This is precisely the outcome our protocols are designed to achieve. Emotional responses often cloud judgment and delay action. By optimizing these neural pathways, we enable personnel to function at peak efficiency.
I used to worry about my family back in Corellia, but now I understand that such concerns were inefficient distractions. The Empire is my family now. My only purpose is to serve. Yesterday, we received word that my home city was partially destroyed in a rebel attack, and I was able to continue my duties without any productivity loss. Before optimization, I would have requested personal leave, wasting valuable Imperial resources.
Exemplary attitude. Perhaps you'd be willing to speak to new subjects about your experience. Peer testimonials have proven effective in reducing initial resistance.
I would be honored to share the benefits of optimization with my fellow Imperial servants. The protocols have shown me the true meaning of Imperial dedication. I see now that individuality is inefficiency.
That's quite a testimonial. And I believe we're out of time. Director Vax, thank you for joining us tonight and giving us this exclusive preview of the Death Star Wellness Initiative. Thank you, Mordin. I should mention that you've been scheduled for your initial optimization assessment tomorrow at 0900 hours. Your performance metrics indicate several areas that could benefit from our protocols. I've noted some concerning thought patterns during our conversation that suggest some suboptimal Imperial alignment. I look forward to it. I really do. Well, thank you, Director. This has been Night Shift with Midnight Mordin, reminding you that a productive Imperial is a healthy Imperial. Glory to the Empire, and good night.
This concludes our broadcast. Glory to the Empire.